Hi, welcome to Kenny's Chess channel. Today we're going to look at how to play against one e4 bishop opening as black. I'll do a lot of videos about how to play as black because I've noticed many players find challenges just to play against e4. I was one of the people that really had challenges just to play against e4. I tried so many openings until I had to decide that e4 was the best option for me. So we'll start with bishop opening, starting from move 1 as white plays e4 e5. Then we have knight f3, knight c4. Okay, then we have knight f6 is the one advocating, probably recommending. Attack the e4 as soon as possible. So we'll do the bishop opening with d3. I know there are so many moves that can be played here. One of them are d4, knight c3, which is the Vienna, and knight f3, certainly attacking the f3 pawn. But we'll look at those. Okay, we can do them now so that we see that these moves are not really very scary. So we start with d4. d4 transposes to what we'll call the three knights game, where we'll go knight f3, knight to c6. Okay, so we'll look at this later. And in this position we have knight c3, which will transpose to the Vienna game. The Vienna game, black can take on black takes e4, which is kind of very complicated, and then queen h5 later on, very complicated and very theoretical. I'll cover that, but I will recommend bishop to c5. Okay, in this position. That's if you want to try the complications for that. So after that we have knight to f3, immediately attacking the pawn. So we can just simply take, then after that we can either go back to knight f6 or just take and play f6, d6, c6, and queen e7 and all those moves, which is very easy to know. Then we have d3. d3 is our main line for the bishop opening. You have to know that the bishop opening transposes to the Vienna sometimes, so you really have to know them both because they interchange. So here there is bishop c5, the least active piece goes to the maximum square, bishop c5, and there's also the classical approach, which is c6. I will recommend c6 because c6 can easily transpose. You can later on play maybe bishop c5, and looking at how white responds. So we'll cover c6 as our main classical approach, but if you want to try this, you can try it as well. After that, then the knight, but I wouldn't recommend that. I would recommend d6 here in this case. Yeah, so we'll look at those properly in detail as I do future videos. So let's stick to the classical approach, which is c6. Then we have so many moves. We have with the queen, we have queen e2. With the knight, we have knight c3 and knight f3. So let us do with the queen. So with the queen first, queen c2, same approach, bishop e7. After knight f3, castle. Remember, white cannot take the pawn on e5 because of the check on f5, and grabs the knight. So after something like bishop to b3 with d6, same approach. This setup will be used in whichever way white plays. The ideas are just the same: knight d7, knight c5, bishop either to g4 or to e6. Okay, so in this case, let's say white castles, knight to d7 according to the plan. After c6, knight to c5, then bishop c2, then we have bishop to g4. Okay, so if white played h3 before all these moves, we would have played bishop to e6, whilst the bishop was on b3. Okay, so after h3 we just maintain the pressure. Remember, don't release tension if you're not going to have an advantage, so you can maintain the tension there. Then after d4, white actually breaks in the center, so you just take to open the e file for the f8 rook. Then we have knight to e6. So knight to e6 attacking the d4 pawn. So we have bishop to e3, rook to d1, g4, and all those things. g4, just play bishop g6, and black is still doing fine. So looking at rook d1, we have d5. Okay, d5, the most challenging move. d5, the idea is after e5 you go knight to e8. So after d5, knight e8, maybe, yeah, develops normally, then knight c7. The idea is to break with f6. So when your opponent has what we call a pawn center, this is a type of pawn center we have, has some sort of a pawn center, you have to attack it. So here moves like f6, c5 are the ones that can actually crumple, just destroy the center for white. So after g4, bishop to g6, looking for an exchange, bishop to f4. White can also take, but that is not doing him any good. So as according to the plan, f6, takes. Okay, so here black is doing fine. You know, you have bishop, you have maybe queen d7 or queen d6 or queen d7. Yeah, there's knight. So we have queen, probably queen d6. The other rook comes to attack on the f2, f3, along the f file. Okay, so we looked at when we looked at queen e2. Okay, yeah, so we looked at queen e2. Let us go back. Yeah, so after that we have queen to c3. Yeah, knight to c3, sorry, knight c3. I usually used to face it mostly online. And yeah, so you can, when you look at the bishop c5 line, we'll look at a situation where it transposes to the Vienna game. Okay, yeah, we'll look at a situation where it transposes to the Vienna game. Yeah, sorry for that. Okay, we'll play bishop, play like this, bishop to this. Then after that we'll have d6. So that way we'll get to the other line for there. Yeah, then after, so we look at knight to f3, then bishop d6. Remember, capturing on e5 is not okay because of the tactic of a check. Then we have something like castle d6. Then whichever setup white uses, you still maintain the same setup as black. After this, the same variation. You see, the same variation: knight maneuver, d7 c6, d7 c5, then e6. Okay, then after that, then this is what I want to look at here. This is the other knight maneuver. You want to get rid of your bad bishop on e7. Okay, so what's the best way to do it? You have knight d7, then after g3 you just take d6. G6 here, you want to limit the activity of the g3 knight. Okay, so after that you have to, white as bishop h6 with just maybe rook e8. It's not really of a threat. Then after bishop you exchange off your bad bishop for white's good bishop. Remember, with the c2 bishop, it's not really a good bishop because of the pawn chain. It's being blocked by its own pawns because of the same color. Even black had this pawn chain, the d6 e5, blocked by its own pawn chain. Okay, so we are getting rid of our bad piece in the game. Okay, yeah, so that's all about the bishop opening.